Conversation with my daughter this morning, and I want to share it with you guys. So I was sharing with her the analogy that I came up with about Black Americans being the trans Americans, right? And I explained to you in another video why I said that. And remember, if it's the truth, it has to fit in all areas, right? So when I was talking to her, we were like going back and forth and flowing with different concepts and different ideas. But the reason it was such a great conversation is because what we were saying was the truth. It didn't matter what scenario we put it in. It made sense in the different comparisons that we made because it was the motherfucking truth. And this is the only time I come on here and say something about anything when I feel like it's the truth. Look at my bio. It says I'm a truth speaker and I'm a truth seeker. You may not agree with me, but I'm not speaking from a lazy place. I may be speaking from a place where I'm not using all the talking points you guys want me to use or having the ancestral background that you guys want me to have, but I'm speaking something worthy of being spoken, and it's something that a lot of Americans need to hear. By the way, let me say that my daughter's just super intelligent, and I always love talking to her. She has a way of like summing up my thoughts and making them simple. I just love talking to her. But she was saying, so what she said was, we were talking about trans people behaving badly and wanting rights to this and rights to that, and it just, not trans people, trans women, because and she even said that the trans men don't do that, and I was like, because proof is in the pudding. We've been socialized, and I'm talking about biological women. I know that these biological women now identify as trans men, but they still have the sense of a woman. We are not as performative naturally, right? We don't need all of that attention naturally, and we've been socialized to kind of play in the background. So it's, and really, what do you think about it? If I'm using the example of like the bathroom situation, ain't no trans men begging to go in no goddamn men's bathroom. We don't want to go. They don't want to go in that motherfucker. They'd rather stay in the women's bathroom because it's an elevation to be around women. These trans women know that they need the support of women. They need to humble themselves and pay homage to women and really talk about why they're behaving that way instead of trying to bombard their way in our bathrooms to get hugs and see what they want and do. Like, the women already support the community. You can't just take our privacy and shit away from us. But I'm not even going to get into that. But my daughter said that she thinks that the community does that because they really just want love and affection. She just said it simple. I don't think they really care about any of that. I think that they just want love and affection. Now, mind you, I said if it's the truth, if it's in all areas. So I also compared that to the Black community because I was using that whole analogy with the trans and Black community. And I would have to agree. I think Black people do not want power and ownership in America. I think they just want acceptance from white people. And I've been saying this since forever. But now it proves it more if I'm using this analogy because I got to, expound on it, right? Proof is in the pudding. To be in a place that was not made for you to, not made, but it was never intention for you to have any power or ownership here. To expect the same level of respect, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that like to be mean. I'm not saying, my brain is going off right now. My brain is going right now. I think that Black Americans behave badly. And I've said this before, the act of Black pride, Black is beautiful, Black is this, Black, is an act. I think that they actually feel the complete opposite. I think that everything about them, they want to change. I think if a lot of Black American people, and this is not just Black Americans, but a lot of people in other Black countries, if they could change their skin color, they would. If they could change their hair texture, they would. If they could, they want to keep the culture, they want to keep the rhythm, they want to keep the, the Blackness of it all, but they deep down really just want acceptance from white people. This is why they can go so ballistic when somebody says the N-word. You can't pay me to even stoop down to a mentally challenged person's level and start hooting and hollering and doing all that shit because they're mentally, you know what I was going to say. That Black people should have been labeled these people mentally challenged and been laughing at them for years. Laughing at them for the dumbass concept of being better than somebody because of the color of their skin. That concept in itself is ridiculously stupid. But we keep fighting it. They're slow, guys. They're stupid. They really thought that was smart. And it's been going on this long because you won't liberate yourself and say, are you a fucking idiot? You keep getting online going, oh my God, that whole lady booty was out. She got out the car, her pants fell down. Never mind. I gotta regroup. That's a lot. We all do it. To get mad at people for not wanting, and they're just human. This is how they're just simple. They're just saying they might cover it up with hateful things because that's another thing. On my channel, I allowed a few men to come on my channel and bait me into insulting them because they wanted to come and make me stoop down to their level, okay? I'm not saying that they're higher than you or not, but when you're talking about something so simple and people are not acknowledging it, you can tend to get mean because they're gaslighting you. It makes me frustrated. When people are telling me I don't see what I see and I'm wrong for having my feelings constantly, it makes me irritable. I think the words being spat out, the racist shit between just the US, the American people, no matter what your race, it stems from frustration. Trying to prove a point when you're constantly being argued out of your lived experience. Trying to always fight for your right to say, this is my money, I want to be able to do it. Why do y'all think churches are supposed to give you stuff? I understand what they say, but we know that's not true. You're being manipulative by trying to say, well, you said that even if people were part of the church that you should get. They don't want, let me just say, they don't like you. You know why? Because you don't go by the rules of the Bible. You're unbrainwashable. That's why that pastor called that woman a witch. Why would they want to support you and you don't pour anything back into them? Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Do you guys walk around giving people shit even though they're slapping you in the face? No, not most of you. This is why I call myself nice. And I'm not even just trying to talk about myself. I know most people do not operate the way that I operate. I pray for my enemies and shit. I'm not saying nobody does. I pray for my enemies. I could give you a whole story time. It would probably take a whole hour to tell you all the ways I've been victimized by men. And I still walk around and smile at them. Most of you are not capable of that. Let's just be honest. Most of you return energy. You return whatever somebody's giving to you. Why are y'all expecting what you would call racist white people to feel good about paying extra taxes and they have to work for their money and you get food stamps? Forget all of them calling you a welfare queen and you calling them racist pink and crackers or whatever the fuck. And y'all fucked around and found out. Forget all of that nonsense that y'all are doing, because what it is, that's frustration from being dismissed and both of sides pretending that they don't know what the fuck each other is saying. You know what they're saying. But this is why I call you spoiled, because you're asking people to do shit that you would never do. That's just the truth. Y'all know white people, these racist white people don't want to give you shit. And here's something y'all don't want to hear. They've come a long way. They have. The pantries that y'all are recently going into the lines and getting their food, a lot of them are white pantries. Now, I go to a few black ones, but there's white churches that have to serve everybody. When I say they've come a long way, they've come from hanging people and thinking that they can shoot you and do all this stuff. I'm not saying it's all over. They've compromised a lot of the hatefulness in their heart, and they have to walk amongst you. All white people don't run shit. They're also being told that they have to be more civilized, just like you're saying people are giving you more rights in their shit. They're also compromising. I'm just talking about the everyday worker who has white skin that y'all think have power because they're white. They also have to do a lot of work to every time they see you, they don't say nigger. They be holding that shit in. They be want to say that shit, but they have to walk amongst you. They have to share shit with you. They weren't born behaving like that. They were indoctrinated with that shit. That's why we look at them and we go, oh, baby. Oh, Lord. She better say the N-word again. This is sad. She needs help. This is how y'all should look at it. They need fucking help. They keep doing what the... That's a sick thought to think that you're better than somebody because they have a different color skin than you. Come on. That's sick and you know it. You should be looking at them like, you shouldn't, it shouldn't even move you. But I'm going to end it now because it's getting too long. But I'm just trying to get you to understand the ways in which all parties in this world think that they're right, and we all have to compromise in some way. Evil people are compromising. Not evil people, sorry. People with the indoctrination that they're better than you, because that's what they were told since they were little kids. We all started off as kids, y'all. We just started off as kids. We didn't have no parts of this. We was just innocent. And then we grew up into this shit. This is why I say fight the system, not the people. Consider the work that people are doing, okay? White people have had to budge a lot. First they've been getting played with. They've been indoctrinated with you're better than them. And then the government just starts trying to appease you. Okay, do this. This is why they're like, they get more grants for this and DEI and all this. They didn't even know the research because they're not in control of nothing. They're not fucking around and finding. They are fucking around and finding out. But y'all are giving them too much credit. They just were indoctrinated with nonsense the same way you were. They're just on the opposite side. You get that? I don't know if I said everything, but I have to end it now. I hope this video makes sense. All of that being said, I know I'm long-winded. All of that being said, it is not wrong for Black Americans to take the stance of wanting acceptance. Don't get it twisted. The reason that I'm upset is because you're saying you want acceptance while behaving badly. I'm going to tell you something. You can keep calling people crackers and not respecting their business and not working hard at their jobs and always trying to pull the race card every 2 seconds. But people don't have to trust you. And they definitely don't have to treat you right if you're not treating them right. This is why a lot of therapists are telling parents, fuck them kids. And they getting online and telling y'all, fuck y'all. They missing one thing though. They don't want to take accountability. But you understand? They're saying, well, even if your kids are draining you, you know, you have the right to cut off your children. America has the right to cut you off. Because I'm not saying it's morally correct, and I'm not saying that they're right, but you guys have been in an agreement for a long time. The problem is that black people are pretending that they're not in an agreement. Do you know why you've been in an agreement? Because you've been complying. It was like a silent, unspoken agreement. Every time you complain, they give you something. Even at the expense of racist white people getting mad at the government or whatever, they give you a little something. This is why I say they're really giving you a beating when they do stuff. And that is the history. They used to actually whip us. I know this conversation is hard because you guys don't want me to make this sound normal, because there's nothing normal about it. But you guys have been complying. When you go and get your degrees and you work in their businesses and you strive to live in their buildings and their neighborhoods and their everything, you have agreed, right, that we're going to be good and we're going to stop talking about all this stuff and we're going to just fit into your system. But you're confusing everybody. You're confusing me. You're confusing everybody. There's people, even the black Americans who have that dog in them that I keep talking about. You're even confusing them. Because you're getting online going, we want more, we want more, we want more. You actually have the opportunity to get more. But the problem is, and this is the same analogy that I use with my mom and my sister. They didn't teach you, how am I trying to say? America is not giving you the courtesy of just telling you, you're still slaves, guys. You want this, you want this, you want this, you want this. They're just not telling you that. But so I'm telling you that. We have black people in the community who know it, and it's like it's this unspoken myth. Y'all, we still slaves. The job places are just, you know, the fields with 4 walls. Yeah, it is. You making enough to be able to fund your life exactly, and barely having enough to do extra or to build anything or to overcome or. And here's the thing: some of you are making that money. Some of you are making that money. You have people like, let's just use the whole Steve Harvey conversation. That's what I'm talking about. I would be Monique in that situation, and Steve Harvey would be the average black American. You got to be quiet if you're trying to get... He was giving her good advice. She is just not the person to give that advice to. We have to respect each other's stances. The only thing I'm saying is, if you're going to be a slave and you're going to behave, you have to do it with integrity. You have to do it like you agreed to this shit. You can't keep behaving badly. You can't keep pulling the race card every 2 seconds. Just say thank you and sit the fuck down. And if it bothers you that I'm saying this, then maybe that's not the stance that you want to take, because it is embarrassing. Let me not say it's embarrassing, because you should be able to take that stance and not feel embarrassed. You should be able to want to be the Popeye's chicken lady. But you just got to be honest with yourself and everybody else and say, we're okay with that. And then start to heal. This video is really long. I'm going to end it now. I'm ending it. That's